If a woman asks this, she desires sexual intimacy with you. Most men miss the signal. And that's not just their fault, it's by design, you see. Women will never say the words directly, they won't tell you they want to be taken, they won't ask you outright if you're the man who can lead them through intimacy and intensity. But there is one question they do ask banned when they ask it. They're not looking for information. They're looking for permission. Permission to drop the mask. Permission to surrender into a man's certainty. Most men treat her question as casual. Curiosity he value, men recognize it as a coded invitation because female desire never arrives dressed in logic. It shows up in subtle tests, misdirected challenges, and instinctual behaviors that bypass her own conscious awareness. In this breakdown, we'll explore the 10 subconscious female behaviors that signal she's sexually drawn to you. These aren't surface-level attraction signs, these are deeper. Embedded within the emotional logic of female mating psychology, understand these 10 triggers, and you'll never see women the same again. More importantly, you'll never see yourself the same again. Let's dive in, but she's not trying to match it, she's not gathering data. She's testing for dominance. When a woman asks so, what kind of girls do you usually go for? She's not trying to become that type, she's trying to see if you've already chosen her. Subconsciously, she's placing herself in a silent competition and watching how you respond. If you hesitate, generalize, or give a politically correct answer, she feels zero tension, but if you're precise, grounded, and speak to a specific standard, she instantly starts to wonder if she meets it. That's where the internal shift begins. Here's the psychological engine behind it. Women are biologically wired to value If she thinks other high-value women desire you, her emotional brain flags you as validated, but it's not enough that women want you. You have to be selective about what you want. That's the paradox most men miss. The average guy tries to be likable, agreeable, and open-minded when answering, but what that tells her is that he's still available for negotiation, which means his standards are still emotional, soft clay, no tension, no charge, no sexual gravity. But when you say, I like women who know they're feminine and don't compete with men, or, I don't chase looks, I watch how a woman carries herself in silence, you're doing two things. 1, you're exposing a subtle filter she must now pass through. And 2, you're broadcasting that your attention isn't up for grabs. It's earned when you hold your frame here. She doesn't just feel intrigued. She starts performing subconsciously, trying to see if she is your type. That's how you know the polarity just shifted, because she's sexualizing you by proxy. It might sound innocent, she comments on a waitress, she judges a woman's vibe on Instagram. She's so extra. Why does she dress like that? She's clearly trying too hard. You might think she's just being catty, but what you're not seeing is that she's covertly reacting to women who might trigger your arousal. Here's what's actually happening. A woman's negative commentary about another woman's vibe, intentions, or behavior is emotional displacement. She's watching how you react to female sexuality, and she's reacting to it through someone else. Because the moment she feels that subtle primal charge from your presence, she starts to subconsciously monitor every woman around you. And the ones who signal overt sexuality threaten her claim to your attention. But she can't just say, I feel jealous, or I'm starting to want your attention more than I should. That would break her plausible deniability. So instead, she projects it outward, mocking or dismissing another woman's behavior. Here's how you respond. Don't take the bait, don't agree or disagree. Just pause and say something like, interesting, what makes you think that? Or, you always notice how other women show up, huh? By flipping the attention back onto her, you do two things. First, you highlight her emotional projection without shaming it. Second, you remind her that you see her seeing you. That's psychological dominance, and it short-circuits her need to posture. When you stay neutral but aware here, she doesn't feel dismissed, she feels seen. And in that moment, her arousal isn't about being sexy. It's about being claimed, but she's not after your past. It seems like a reflective question, a soft attempt at depth, but beneath the surface, it's a frame control probe. She's not asking about your history. She's testing your emotional leverage. When a woman asks, have you ever been in love? She's measuring two things, your capacity for intensity and your ability to detach from it. Here's the contradiction. Women don't want men who are emotionally unavailable, but they also don't want men who are emotionally led. They want men who've experienced intensity and didn't lose themselves inside it. So, what she's looking for in your answer is emotional competency without dependency. If you sound nostalgic, wounded, or too romantic, you signal vulnerability without boundaries. If you sound jaded, cold, or avoidant, you signal a guarded masculine wall. Both kill polarity. The power position is this: you acknowledge intensity, and own your capacity to walk away. You say, yeah, I've been in love. I let myself feel it fully, and when it was time to end it, I didn't cling. I learned what I needed to, and moved forward clearer. That signals something rare. You're a man who can feel but won't be pulled by feeling. That creates the ultimate tension for her emotional brain, because now she senses that if she ever gets access to your heart, she has to earn it. You're not emotionally guarded, you're emotionally grounded because she's testing for post-sex presence. On the surface, this seems unrelated to intimacy. But when a woman asks what you do first thing in the morning, it's often not about productivity. It's about prediction. Her subconscious is imagining this: if I gave myself to him, who would he become the next morning? This is where identity leaks through. Evolutionarily, women are wired to assess what happens after mating, not just whether a man is attractive, but whether he's stable, aware, and purposeful after the act. That's why a man's morning is symbolically powerful. It reveals structure, presence, and psychological continuity. When a woman hears that your mornings start with focused intention, not chaos or dopamine, she feels safe to sexually release because her emotional brain calculates. He's not ruled by impulse, he carries his center with or without me now. Most guys hear this question and ramble, well, I hit snooze, check my phone, maybe work out if I have time. That answer instantly drains polarity because now she imagines a man who's reactive, drifting, and subconsciously, that means she'll have to manage the aftermath if they hook up. The high-value response. You state your routine with calm authority. Mornings are quiet. I train, meditate, write, and don't touch my phone until noon. It's not about flexing discipline. It's about signaling that your world is built before she enters it. When you ground your identity in your rhythm, she doesn't just feel curious. She imagines herself inside your structure. That's where arousal becomes alignment. Because she's preparing for surrender, you walk into her space or she enters yours, and suddenly, she's rearranging things. Fluffing a pillow, lighting a candle, adjusting the mirror, saying, let me clean this up real quick. This is not about cleanliness, it's about psychological readiness. She's not preparing the room, she's preparing herself. Here's what's happening. Her subconscious brain is shifting into feminine polarity preparation. It's the nervous prelude to surrender. She's not just tidying up, she's signaling, I want to feel safe being fully seen here. And that includes managing her external space so that her internal vulnerability feels justifiable. Women are wired to ritualize intimacy. Before they allow full emotional or physical access, they need to frame the moment as intentional, and adjusting the environment helps her bridge that internal gap. Here's the trap: if you interpret her behavior as performance or awkwardness, you'll break the energy. You'll comment, tease, or interrupt her rhythm, which throws her back into self-consciousness. The high-value move is presence and stillness. You let her manage the space while you remain grounded, because when you stay relaxed while she adjusts the room, you're signaling, I'm already comfortable in this space, and I don't need you to perform. That creates the exact polarity her nervous system craves. She's not seeking approval, she's seeking permission to let go. When you don't rush, comment, or control, she doesn't just feel accommodated. She feels allowed. And when a woman feels allowed, she surrenders without resistance.